What's good, everybody? I'm Neal, Newberry, host of Live from the Nickel.
What's good, everybody? I'm Neal Newberry. Welcome to another episode of Live from the Nickel podcast. You guys know what it is. It's Fun Day Sunday. That's what we got going on today. I hope you guys are having a great day today. I know we are. We got a great guest today. This guy is funny, very professional, very happy for him. He's about to have his firstborn child here pretty soon. You're having a girl, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Layla Jane.
Yeah. Oh, nice name. Famous name. Famous name. So y'all might want to sit back out y'all popcorn. It's going to be a great episode. You know, we sponsored by School Matters, so make sure y'all tap in and let me know if y'all want the hoodies. Let me know. Y'all can hit me on social media. I got you. You know, I'm all across the board. I'm on every platform except for Tinder. I don't mess with that. You know what I'm saying? But you guys can definitely hit me on Facebook. You can hit me on YouTube. You can hit me everywhere. So if y'all want the hoodies, let me know. I know the weather's kind of up and down, but I still got you guys. I still do the T-shirts, but the hoodies, I see everybody likes the hoodies. Like I said, we have a great guest today. I'm very excited. I'm not Steelers. I'm so sorry. I hate the Steelers.
He's in the wrong decade.
I was around my dad and Vic yesterday. I was around my boss and them yesterday, man.
Hey, you sure you didn't?
I was just going
Man, I'm so gassed, bro. The
that same
Sixers won last night. I was around my dad and Vic yesterday. You know, they Steeler fans, and that's all they kept doing, talking about the damn Steelers, man. I ain't want to. It sucked me in. But
He
my
was so
Sixers,
shocked that the 76ers won.
man.
Took him back to football season.
Right? I want to be there so bad, but they were getting on my nerves yesterday. But no, for real. Seriously, Don, Amanda, like I was so happy yesterday. If I could have stood up and jumped around, I probably would have, but I would have broke my leg.
Yeah.
But I couldn't. But I was so happy that my 76ers won. And we beat Boston. We haven't beat Boston since 1982.
That's historic. Nobody thought that was going to happen either.
Never. They had all the legends there, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish. You know, they had everybody in the building, and I thought we were going to lose. And for us to be down 3-1, I was so proud of those guys, Max, EMB, Paul George, old ass. He was doing his thing. Even your boy, Don, the boy from Kansas.
Who Embiid?
No, the boy from Kansas. They both from Kansas.
Oh,
but
Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre played.
Yeah.
He played a great game yesterday, so I was proud of Kelly. But, like I said, so I was so happy. Forget them Steelers, but the 76ers, man. We got to play New York, boys, but we're going to tear them up. D, what's up, man? Talk to me, man. How you feeling today, man?
I feel great, man. Hip is a little tender for some reason. That shot I took a couple weeks ago, it done wore off already.
They don't last long.
Man. So
Right.
I got an appointment with the doctor coming up, man. So I think we're going to be talking surgery here for real.
Damn.
Yes,
For real?
sir. I'll be back under the knife. I'm going to catch up with you in a minute.
Yeah, that's something we don't want to do. I got 6 surgeries.
Yeah, man.
Jesus.
This will be number 4 if I do
Yeah,
it. So.
yeah.
That's
You know, that,
But other than that, man, life is good, bro. No complaints.
amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Miss Amanda, how you doing today?
Good. A little tired today. It's a busy week. I worked a lot this week, and every day was pretty busy, which is good because usually this time you're slowing down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of nice that we've been able to stay busy and.
Amanda, I'm glad somebody on the team working.
Well, I got to work for us all now.
Right.
I got to be the sugar mama. I work 2 jobs.
I
for you boys.
didn't choose to be broke up like this. I love working, and my body just said no. I would say this: if you don't do if you want to get in the factory, you might want to think about it for an extended time when you get in there. So yeah, Miss Amanda gonna be taking care of me and Mr. Brown over here, man.
Pretty soon I'm gonna be wheeling you guys in to these podcasts.
Yeah.
One in each hand, one wheelchair in each hand.
No. I did the wheelchair down at Imagination Station. Nick was pushing me around, and then Nick was like, "Man, you on your own, bro. I'm gonna go sightseeing."
It gets old quick.
Absolutely. Nick
Push
just straight left
somebody
me. I started getting good at the wheelchair. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I want to walk or use the cane for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's all good. So I'm glad you're going. You are one of the hardest working people in the city. I can tell you as a bartender,
thanks.
working 2 different spots, killing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank
But
you.
It costs to be a woman. You know.
I mean, it does. Mm-hmm. It really, that's true.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said about this guy, we are just chopping up before we got started today. And I'm very proud of him. He's actually the very first men we had on here that coaches women basketball. So I was excited about that, number one. Number two is what he's been through in his life, you know, just about to be a father, first-time father. So that's a big transition. But just talking to this young man makes me love the city even more and more to see some of the people out here that's what they're doing. And I don't think they get recognized for what they do. And so it's our job between me, Miss Amanda, and Don to tell the story or have them tell their story about their situation, because that's what's so important. People don't understand that we have a lot of hidden talent here. And for him to, you know, go back into the field because he played ball, went to Lake, did his thing. He said, man, we weren't that good, man. But he sticked it out. And now he's coaching the girls at Northwood. And like I said, I was looking at when I posted it yesterday, to see reactions I got back from it. That made me feel good. So they're probably excited about it. So we made sure we had to kill it today. And who am I speaking to? I'm speaking about Mike Moon. Welcome to the Nickel, Mike.
Woo!
Appreciate you guys having me on here. It's an honor
Absolutely,
to be able
man.
to tell my story and just chat it up with you guys today. So appreciate it.
Well, before we get to tapping in about you, Nick, let me get that hoodie for my guy, man. So, Mike, this is from all of us.
Appreciate you guys.
Oh,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody that comes on, like I told you on the phone, anybody that comes on the show, we want to
You
show
put it
our
wherever you want.
appreciation and everything else. But that's not the only thing is I need your John Hancock.
Uh-oh.
So you can sign it anywhere on the helmet, your name, and if you got a basketball number, you can put it on there. You can just whatever you
I'll
want right
just-
on there.
Sign my name.
That's good enough, too, because you might be famous one day.
There you go.
Okay. So, Mike, before we hand it off to Miss Amanda, I want you to help us out to know about Mike Moon.
Okay.
How you got started coaching, what led you up to where you at before Miss Amanda starts tapping in on the questions. Because, you know, she's like Martha Stewart. She don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? So give us a little education about Mike Moon.
All right. So I'm a 2010 grad from Lake High School, Flyer Nation over there. Yeah, you know, when you called me and talked about coming on the podcast, I kind of gave you a quick summary of, I played basketball since I was a little kid. Always loved the sport, Loved Allen Iverson, and I noticed you had him on the shirt. You know what I mean? It was fun, and I'm a little guy. I'm 5'7", maybe on a good day. So I was always like a guard. I always played like a guard position, and I always loved the game. I always grew up around sports. My whole family was big into sports, and I got an older brother, Joey, who him and I always competed together, and then many of fights and arguments on the driveway playing each other. When I got into middle school over at Lake, 7th and 8th grade year, we didn't win a single game. We went 0-12 probably both seasons. We had one and done coaches. First year out trying it. Just I don't know if it was just trying to find somebody. They couldn't find nobody, so they just hired whoever.
Right.
So there wasn't. Again, we talked about stability. There wasn't stability there. There was nothing that was built. And that kind of transitioned into my high school days. I think we had 3 coaches in 4 years, from freshman to senior. And that's tough. Again, you're trying to build stability. You're trying to build a program, but when you're got a revolving door with coaches, I mean, it's kind of hard to build that. You're not getting used to just one system. You have 3 systems you're trying to figure out how to navigate through in 4 years, So there wasn't a lot of success. I think my junior year we won 4 games, and my senior year we won 3. So that was kind of the pushing factor for me of getting into coaching. I wanted to make that difference of when I'm coaching somewhere, I'm there for the kids. I'm there to build that stability for them, allow them to know, like, you can trust that I'm going to be here, and the freshman coach my junior and senior year, he ended up getting the varsity spot, Ryan Bowen, shout out to Bowen. He was there. He watched me in the off season, always in the weight room, always getting up at those 5 a.m. workouts, working out, being trying to be the best leader I could be. And he liked that about me. He reached out to me and was like, hey, after high school, what are your plans? Have you ever considered coaching? Up to that point, no. I was 18 years old. I was thinking about going to college and just kind of enjoying life. And he goes, I think you have something here that you can utilize that'll help me with the program I'm trying to build. And so he brought me on staff as a volunteer, and that's kind of where my story started of coaching. And I got Brandon Neal sitting behind us over here, one of the first kids I ever coached. He still can't beat me to this day. He can't rebuttal right now, so I can say that. No.
You still can't beat him, Brandon?
When I was 11.
Okay.
Man, that's a long time.
I know.
That's a drought right there. That's a drought. You gotta figure something out now.
But no, so it was fun. It was a good experience, and then I worked, kind of just stayed with it, and I was part of that staff for 5 years. I had 2 years as an assistant in the middle school, helping out with 7th and 8th grade. I was being a younger coach at that time, I had a lot more free time than the older coaches. So the summer workouts, the 5 a.m. workouts, I was the one doing all that. So I was forced to learn all that, and it was nice because it showed me what it meant to be able to build a successful program. I mean, at that time, I think my senior year we won 3 games. You turn around to the next season, and I think they won 11 games. And then by the time Brandon and all them, those classes, they were winning league titles.
Nice.
They were, and that wasn't just the high school, middle school. We were winning championships. We were going to championships, and so I was able to see how, when you have a coach that's committed and wants to be there, and you have the right staffing around you, how you can build a successful program is from the ground up. And I've always held that close with me of, getting my opportunity now at Northwood is finding the staff. Finding the people that want to be there and are willing to see the vision that you have, even if right now it doesn't seem that way. Like Northwood last year for the girls, we won 3 games. I started out as the assistant. The varsity coach stepped away. I had to be interim, and that was kind of a showcase for me to kind of prove that I was worthy of the opportunity to actually get the head coaching position.
Right.
And so now for me, the biggest thing is making sure I find the right people for the staff to help me build what I'm visioning right now.
Absolutely.
I did take a 5-year hiatus from coaching. After I was done at Lake, I got on the railroad for about 5 years, and it was fun, but I wasn't able to fulfill my passion, which was coaching. I always had a passion for coaching and being around, and I've always been told I have what you call a servant's heart, and I think being able to coach basketball allows me to serve in a way that fulfills me.
Absolutely.
And I can give back to the community. And so I had got laid off twice in those 5 years, and the second time I decided not to go back to the railroad. And it just so happened I had a good friend of mine, Alex Geisel. Shout out to Alex. He's now the Anthony Wayne's head coach for the boys over there.
Okay.
At the time, he was over at St. John's, and he said, "Hey, I'm going to be taking control of the academy program for the middle school boys at St. John's." He goes, "What are your thoughts of coming over and helping me?" And that was the call I needed. There was, as soon as he said it, I didn't have to think twice about my answer, and it was absolutely, it was a way for me to get back in, and I fell back in love with the passion for coaching and being able to be there, and that's kind of how I got back into it, and and then my niece growing up, now she's getting ready to be a freshman. When she was a younger girl, in 5th grade, I helped volunteer there and found my way into Northwood, and now they put me right where I'm at. So
beautiful journey, man.
Appreciate it.
I think a lot of people, and commend my dad for that, and his girl and that, because I think that's a beautiful thing. People need to hear the journey, how you get there. Some things doesn't just fall right to you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people think that it just falls right in your lap. It doesn't work like that. That's not how. Some people it does. Some people it doesn't. But I think having that, what you went through, and you're already a humble individual.
Appreciate
so
it.
I think you're going to turn some things right, and we need more of that. I think with me and Amanda was talking before you got here, is that seeing the generation is different now. So they need somebody that can step in there and to guide them in the right way.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Looking out for them, not as a coach, but being there for them on all type of levels. And we need that. Somebody father, us, and got coaches back in the day when I was coming out of high school, and you even yourself and Amanda and Don, that you need somebody that can lead them to the right way. You know how to do things.
Absolutely.
You know, we miss those old school coaches and stuff like that. They're gone. A lot of them retired, passed away. So somebody's got to step in. Like I said, like your Brandon said, coaching ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
So, like I said, thank you for letting us know a little bit about you, man.
Absolutely.
I already knew, but
Yeah.
wanted to educate the guests. But Miss Amanda, go ahead and do your thing, baby girl.
All right. Okay. I guess I'm taking over now. I guess where I would first start is a question that's a little dear to my heart because obviously, you know, I'm a lady. I was a teenage girl. I know we can sometimes be difficult to deal with. How do you, I guess, envision maintaining a positive team culture, particularly with teenage girls navigating their pressures, their different pressures and things they have going on?
That's a very good question. And that was one of those challenges, you know, I learned early transitioning from the boys to the girls was like, how do you navigate stuff like that? And it's just keeping a positive attitude with them, making sure that I think the biggest thing is they need to know that you believe in them. You know, if they don't believe that you believe in them, why should they believe in themselves? And I encourage that all the time. You know, we're doing some shoot-arounds now, and some of those girls, you know, you can kind of see they're uncomfortable because they're learning, especially younger girls, they're learning new things, and they're quick to just kind of revert back inside and just not try. So
Absolutely.
I'm trying to always be positive in everything. Like, it's okay to mess up. If you're messing up, that means you're trying. But if you're not willing to mess up now, you're never going to be comfortable doing it in the game. I believe in you, and I always tell them, I need you to make the mistake. I can help you once you make those mistakes how to correct them. And you just have to be willing to trust me, trust the staff, and trust yourself that if you work at it every single day, you will be better than what you were when you first came in here. And it's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
You know,
Right.
there's so many things that go on in life, in their personal lives that I don't know about and I don't need to know about.
Right.
But I need them to know that when they step into that gym with me and my staff, that they are safe.
Right.
They are safe. They are protected. I'm there for them. I am going to do everything I can to help them not just be better basketball players, but better individuals when they step out. You know, and I think that's one of those things that sometimes gets lost. You get so fixated on the wins and losses that you kind of lose sight of the real reason why we're coaching. The coaching is to help these young individuals, especially young females, become stronger, independent women that, you know, can trust themselves and believe that they can do just about anything they want.
Great answer. Great answer. And I agree. I think that having a mentor, whether it's a coach, whether it's an older student, whether it's somebody in your life that you can feel comfortable being around and talking to, teammates, things like that. That's why I think girls' sports is so important.
Absolutely.
And I think it's come a long way, which is awesome because of people like you. There's people like you that are coaching and mentoring and helping out like in those ways. How do you prepare your team mentally for high-stakes games or against top opponents?
Biggest thing is just to not let the moment become bigger than what it is. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. You know, who cares? You know,
Right.
if we feel we are prepared, you know, if we're working hard enough in practice every day, then it shouldn't matter. It's just a game.
Right.
You know, we've gone up against some tough competition. You know, we talked before about Gibson, you know, going up against Gibsonburg, and they have Ellie Everett, who is a star. I mean, she is tough, and
Monster.
and she, you know, being a sophomore and eclipsing over 1,000 points as a sophomore and
It's
breaking
incredible.
the all-time record for the school as a junior and still having 1 year left, and we have to play her twice.
That's intimidating.
It is. It is. It's intimidating for a coach when you look at that and you're like, how do we
we
prepare
stop
for
this
this? You know what I
girl?
mean? And the truth is, you don't stop it.
Yeah.
You have to find a way just to kind of slow her down and to limit what she does and force the other players on the team to step up. You know, and fortunately for them, they have a good system over there.
Yeah.
So it's even harder to do that, you know, but just not allowing the moment to get bigger than what it is. Don't overthink anything. Just go out there, play your game, play as hard as you can, and at the end of the day, it's gonna, you know, the outcome's gonna be what it is. But as long as we can look back and say, hey, we did everything we could, we prepared the best we can.
Right.
It just didn't go in our favor. I'm never gonna be upset with you.
Right.
You know.
And don't forget why you wanted to play in the first place.
Absolutely.
You know, it's fun.
Absolutely.
What is something you've learned the hard way about coaching and running a program?
So I've had to adjust kind of how I've coached, especially, you know, boys coaching boys and coaching, you know, women, it's a difference. You know, the way you communicate with them is very different. You know, when I was a younger coach and coaching, you know, middle school boys, I could be loud with them. I can be intense with them. You know, the first team I had on my own was 7th grade boys, and it was a team that everyone told me, you'll be lucky to go 500. You guys aren't going to do much. You ain't, you know, and I kind of took that. And I encouraged them with that. You know, we ended up making a championship that year, lost by 4 points to an undefeated Eastwood team. But the way I approached them, we were intense in practice, but I was able to be loud with them. They liked being pushed in that manner where I was able to kind of yell, be more aggressive. And I learned quickly coming to coaching females, I can't do that. They shut down.
It's a little different.
It is very different. So the way I have to communicate with these girls, and just like I have to be able to talk to them. I have to be able to reach them where they don't feel I'm attacking them, because the moment they feel attacked, they're going to stop.
Right.
You know, so that is one of those biggest adjustments. You know, and even having some of, you know, the coaches on the staff, having constant communication with them of like, hey, you know, I have an assistant with me, Haley St. John, who she was a collegiate athlete. She went to Owens, won a national championship with Owens, and has played at a high level. And getting her to understand, like, you also have to adjust a little bit too. You know, you want them to do something because that's how it's supposed to be done, and you've been able to do it.
Exactly.
But they're not there.
Right. You just expect that they're able to do that, but they're not
so
there yet.
being able to make sure that we can, like, show them in a positive way of how they need to be there is one of those challenges. You know what I mean? And then reaching the youth. You know what I mean? That's one of those things, especially at, you know, running a program. I have to make sure that I don't forget about the program as a whole. It's just not the varsity. It is the fourth, you know, the kindergartners, the 1st through 5th grade, the 6th grade, you know, middle school. Making sure everyone feels involved and included, and finding ways to get them excited about Northwood girls basketball, so that they see me, they recognize me, my staff, so they want to be there, you know, and they show up. You know, having them as water girls, or hey, let's do an open practice where we're going to bring the younger ones in and watch how we run.
And let them see.
Yeah, let them see what we do. Get them excited.
Let them be inspired by it and say, oh, I can do that.
Absolutely.
It's the next future star. It could be the water girl.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, it's going to have its challenges, and I know there's probably things that are going to pop up. You know, we're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning.
You got to take it day by day.
Number time.
Yeah, you got to take it day by day. So you're not going to have a ton of free time coming up soon. But what is something right now that you like to do to kind of wind down, relax, keep your mental health in check, your sanity before you have your baby?
Absolutely. So, yeah, life's going to get crazy with a newborn baby girl coming. Coaching, deciding to take this position, you know what I mean? It was a lot of long talks with my wife about taking this, because it is a major jump for both of us. Spending time with my wife is honestly one of the greatest things, you know, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be communicating with each other, just being in each other's presence and having that home life where I can just go home, shut everything off, and just spend time with her. You know, we have 2 dogs, 2 cats at home. She's a vet tech. She loves her animals. So it's, you know, having them around, having her around, and sometimes just popping on the TV and just watching nothing, or just sitting there. You know what I mean? Those are my getaways, you know, and spending time with family, great getaways for me, you know.
Absolutely.
It just kind of gets me time to unwind, you know, just kind of reset everything.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it's important, especially with how busy life can get. You kind of miss sight of that sometimes. So.
You need the time sometimes to just sit down and do nothing and hang out with your dogs. I'm the same way. I'm the exact same way. My husband and I talk about that, like, man, remember the days when we were like going out on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, and now Tuesday night we're like, oh, we got to get home and watch this show, or, you know, we got to chill.
That's called being an adult now. We're all grown. We're all getting older.
Yeah, I know. It's funny when you hit that transition when you're like, man, I just want to sit on my couch.
When I was younger, I always say, I can't wait to get older. I wish I could turn that back sometimes.
Isn't it funny? You never thought you'd say that when you were younger?
Oh, my God,
And now you're like, man.
I'll be 50 next year. Just thinking about it just make me cry.
You're still a baby.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Don, why you look at me like that, boy?
Cuz, man, your boy the other day, I ain't tell you about this, man. He stole on me.
Your grandson hit you?
He stole on me, yeah. So I thumped him in the chest. And he stepped back, and he was real serious. He was like, "Why you do that?" I said, "Cause you hit me." But it's just the thing, man. His attitude, man, is up and down. It's up and down, but he's the funniest 3-year-old I know, man. Yeah.
I love your stories about
Yeah,
him.
I'm telling you, the dude is funny.
He is one of a kind.
Yeah, he is.
I love him to death, but I gotta keep my eyes on him.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what he gonna do, man.
You already know that, Neal.
Right.
But Mike, what I want to ask you, going back, how do you approach the game as far as your coaching style?
That's a good question. These are good questions. I like these. Makes you have to think a little bit. You know what I mean?
I told you.
You know, I like more of kind of a simplistic approach to it. You know, a lot of people. You know, I have a lot of coaches that are friends of mine. So you know, I have a lot of people I like to touch base with and kind of shoot it with and kind of get opinions in that.
Right.
I like being simplistic and just like a motion offense. You know what I mean? I don't need 4 or 5 different plays to make things successful. You know, I've seen how that doesn't work sometimes, and it gets confusing. If she doesn't cut the right way and she's not open, well, then what do we do here?
Right.
And it's more of reading the defense and forcing a lot of action to create opportunities for other people. So the one program I'm going to be trying for the first time this year. It's a little switch up for me, but I've seen it work. I've seen it work and be successful. It's called Savvy Basketball. And it's called Race in Space. Mm-hmm. You spread the floor as much as you can, and you create opportunities for other people. So it's spreading everything out. You look to attack what they call the world, so it's the inside of the key, and you're looking to pull defenders to get quick shots. And it's not a lot of set plays. You're reading off of other people. You're trying to get, we have a girl on our team, Alyssa Buban. She's going to be a junior this year. Mm-hmm. Great shooter. When she gets in her head sometimes, and I'm trying to grow her on that. And I told her, I said, your job this year is when you get that ball, your first thought needs to be, I'm shooting it. Mm-hmm. You need to make teams pay often.
Absolutely.
Or not. And so the idea is we're going to attack the middle to create those opportunities to get her to shoot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And instead of setting up, L cuts and V cuts and all these to try to get people open, we're going to try to push quick, get down the court quicker than what we have. And it's not going to be easy. Right. You know what I mean? It's definitely not going to be easy because they're not used to that style of play. And so the practices are going to have to be designed differently. The energy is going to have to be different. Energy, effort are the 2 big non-negotiables for me as a coach. You have to come every day with that. And if you don't, you can't expect to win.
Right.
You're not going to be able to expect to compete with anybody or even yourselves if you're not coming with that every single day.
Facts. Facts.
Defensively, I want to, it's going to be a little different than what I coach. Before I was always a heavy on-ball pressure, and now we're going to transition a little bit of kind of giving some space, not allowing them to blow by you, but force them into a position that we want them to be, and force different things. And still, I like coaching defense. I always love being aggressive on defense and finding ways to create turnovers and finding their best guard. I want to guard their best guard type thing, right? Mm-hmm. So I still want that energy in defense all the time. I want to be flying around, but it's a team effort though. Everyone has to play their role, and I'm okay with switching up. I'll throw different defenses in there, but the girls got to be willing to work at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I hope that answers your question a little bit.
Yeah. But can you describe like a typical day of practice? Like you said, you transition from the young men to the young ladies. Are the conditioning still the same, or how do you approach that?
It'll be a little different, I think. Like I said, even with the way you communicate with the boys and the girls, it's got to be a little bit different. You can't not one way works for everybody, and you still want to make sure it's going to be a lot of small-sided games to start out. You know what I mean? 3-on-3s, your 4-on-4s,
Correct.
Your 3-on-2s, your 4-on-3s, and already having a disadvantage or an advantage one way or the other to make them work. I don't necessarily believe in just running the run. I don't want to put you on the line and have you run
That's old school
you know,
coaching.
yeah, suicides or, you know, you got to get down and backs. Like, there's going to maybe be reasons for that punishments, you know what I mean? Show up late to practice.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know
But
that.
if we're getting into it, I want to be able to teach you basketball. If you run the drills that we're running, the 4-on-4s or the 3-on-4s, the quick transitions at a high pace, at a fast pace, and setting times and restrictions,
Right.
you should be able to get that conditioning off of those drills alone without having to, hey, we got to take 15 minutes to go run, so we're conditioned. Like, you should be able to get that conditioning while learning the game of basketball with the ball in your hand or, you know, with basketball style, not just running the run.
No, I agree with you on
I
that
agree,
because
yeah.
you gotta mix it up. Times are different now. We go
Yeah.
back in the day, even when Don played. It's just different.
I had a coach, football.
Ooh,
We were never allowed to go in the locker room. Through the course of the halftime, we would be stuck on the field. He would give us a little speech, and after he gave his little speech, we was bear crawling.
Ugh.
oh,
Bear
Halftime?
crawling during the halftime.
At halftime.
Louise.
During the halftime,
Man,
still had another whole half to play.
whether you were up or down, it didn't matter.
That's a
Yeah,
little
it didn't
tough.
matter.
That's a little.
But we never lost. We went undefeated that year.
What was his reasoning for that?
He was worried about. You guys were probably worried about what he was going to do if you didn't win. We were already doing that.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with
That was
Mike.
just his coaching style.
Yeah.
What was his reason?
Yeah, what was the reason for that? Just because, huh?
That was his coaching style.
Man.
That sounds like some Bobby Knight
Wow.
stuff.
Bubby Corrigan's.
I bet all the kids couldn't wait to play for him.
Yo, he that's that old coaching like Bobby Knight and
was
stuff
old
like
school.
that. It does work for sort of a long period of time, but I like what you're doing. You're taking it to a whole new level. That's probably what we need done now in the time era. Back in the day, that's what my coach did. He would just have us run.
Yeah.
Suicides and all that stuff. I was like, yo, what is all this running gonna do? But it did help out, conditioning wise. But I mean, you got to run plays too.
Yeah.
I think like I said, I commend you on coaching because coaching is a very tough task, and I think people think it's easy. It's not easy, and I've watched coaches in here already. I've had on the show. I would go watch them play, watch the games. Like I'm gonna come watch you guys
I appreciate
play.
that.
Because I like to see. Because for me, I'm not a coach. I was a hooper.
Yeah.
I played. So coaching, it takes a special person, and you have to have that. What you have that moxie. You have to have that love for it.
Absolutely.
So like I said, commend you. My bad, Don. I didn't mean to take your question away.
That's cool. I just got one
Because your
more.
coach kind of scared me, Don. Is he
Yeah.
around still, Don?
Oh yeah. Love Corrigan's, yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to know why he was doing
Yeah, he
that.
was
I know.
tough, man. He was tough.
He tough as nails. That means he eat nails for breakfast.
Yeah, but Mike, I got one more question for you. With the season you just had, how do you define success out of that season to keep the girls' morale up?
Ooh.
That's a very good question. Yeah, like I said, we only won 3 games, and I can relate to that as a player. You know what I mean? My senior year only won 3 games. The bright side of that, we only graduated 1 senior. So I had majority of the girls coming back.
Right.
It was a chaotic season in total. I started out as the assistant coach. The varsity head coach had to step away for personal reasons. I got the call to say, hey, are you comfortable stepping in and taking this role? And I said, absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm here. I'm going to be here regardless, so I might as well. And it was nice for me because now it was able to give them like a little glimpse of what it would look like if they were comfortable giving me the position after the season. The hope, the bright side of it was there were multiple games late in that season, the second half, where we were up at halftime. We went from, games just getting kind of blown out or just not really competing to now we're in games, So the bright side moving into the future is the belief that we can do it, that we deserve to be on these courts and be able to compete with these other teams. We were young. We were a sophomore-heavy team. We had 1 senior, 1 junior. The junior hadn't played since 7th grade, and we got her to come back out, which was awesome. She's returning this year, so I'm excited to get that second season with her. 5 sophomores and 3 freshmen, and that was our team. So we were a young team, and that's another bright side of it too. Is we were young, having to compete at a high level, and there were games where we were close.
Yeah.
We had 4 or 5 games late in the season that we were up at halftime, and some of it falls on me of just trying not to put too much on them, not trying to adjust too much, and maybe should have done more, and that was on me. You know what I mean? But after a lot of those games, you had the away coaches or the away ADs, the refs coming like, hey, these girls are fighting now. Like, you can see the fight in them, you can see the belief in them. They're working at it, and I think that's where I can take that and we can build off that of like, if you guys just commit and believe in each other and believe in the system and what we can do, some of those games will go our way, and I just don't know if they were there yet, if the moment got too big for them, but I think if they come back and they're willing to work, I think we can make some noise this year in this league with what we have, and that's the biggest thing is belief, and that's what I'm going to preach every single team I coach. Whatever I'm doing as a coach is belief. If you don't believe, it doesn't matter what you do or what or whatnot. It's not going to happen. You have to believe you can do what coaches are asking and what we're trying to do. That's how you change.
Absolutely. I agree.
Floor is yours, Neal.
Hey, Don, I think he should be the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers, man.
I don't know if I'm ready for that one.
Or Philly, bro.
I'm comfortable right where I'm at right now. So.
I'm just saying. I mean, it could work, like you said. And here's the thing about it. I think people need to understand this too: is that your team is only going to do as good as the coach. If your coach is strong, your team gonna be strong. If they see that you fighting for them, they're gonna give 100%. I think a lot of these kids need that. They need that from you and from any other guests we had on here. If your team is strong, your team will be strong as your leader is. And if your leader is strong, they're going to step in. So like I said, I commend you what you're doing. I'm going to me and Mr. Brown definitely going to come check you out.
I appreciate that.
I'll pick him up and we'll come and check you guys out. And, I think things will get better for you guys at Northwood. I know it will because you the foundation there. They got a great coach there, so I believe it. And like you said, I think you being a player and what you went through at Lake, that's going to shape and mold you who you are. And people don't realize that. You got to take those L's.
Absolutely.
You have to fail to succeed. And I think people don't understand that. These kids want to succeed so much right now. And and I get it, but you have to fail to succeed.
Absolutely.
My dad always told me that. And once you do that, like you did in the last 5 games of the season, you started figuring out things. You can go back and look at those tapes and be like, okay, I know what to do. I know what to do. I know how to handle this. And you got young girls that believe in themselves now. So I commend you, my brother. I really commend you on that, man. You guys, this is going to be a great person. You guys need to check him out, man. I'm going to stay in contact with him. Now we're going to get into this NBA talks because I know he knows a little bit. He's coaching, so we're going to do this now. Like I said, Mr. Brown, your Cavaliers got a Game 7 today. Game 7. Is it at the house?
Yeah, it's at the crib.
What is Donovan Mitchell going to do? What is James Harden going to do?
You asking me?
Yeah. You got quiet. I was like looking over like, yeah, what they going to do?
Man, keep the ball out of his hand, man. He do too much dribbling.
Yeah.
I think Donovan Mitchell got to play a bigger role, man. He don't want to show up until the fourth quarter. So, if they can get the big man involved in the game, man, I think we'll be all right. But they ain't gonna play a lick of defense.
That's why Mike need to be there.
You got to play defense. You want to win.
You can put up 70, 100 points, but if you giving out 100 points, that ain't good. You're right. And James Harden has not been out of the first round. I mean, everywhere he's been, he's never been out of the first round. He got to change that, man.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell got to be the star he is, right?
Yeah, he got to be more aggressive. I don't know why he ain't been aggressive.
I didn't know that stat. That James Harden never been out of the first round. That's tough.
Yeah, James Harden. I had him in Philly, man. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Mr. Amanda, who you gonna take? Mr. Brown gonna take Cleveland, but he's very. If he was in Cleveland right now, it would be ugly. he would be cussing.
I'm gonna take the Cavs for Mr. Brown over here because, and their Ohio team, I support them.
Okay.
I mean, they got to get it together. I'd like to see them do good. They got a great fan base that wants to see them do well. So, I mean, they gotta figure it out, get it together.
Okay.
They could do it.
Money Mike, man, talk to me. What you got, bro?
I'll stay with the home team. We'll go Cleveland on this one. Yeah,
Okay.
they just gotta play some defense.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta get it, man.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. You gotta go out and want to play. I mean, you're at home. What more can you want? You're at home.
Right.
You gotta take care of home court.
Yeah.
So just come ready to play. That's it. Who you got?
You know, thank you.
He's gonna go
You're right.
against us.
You're right. Oh man, I'm listen. Mr. Brown is my brother, man. I love him to death, man. And listen. James Harden played with us, man. He gave me heart, man. He gave me headaches. I was turning the channel. Oh man, I'm gonna go with Toronto.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm
knew
gonna go
he
with
was gonna do
Toronto,
that.
and I don't mean to be the oddball, I just know what James Harden. Now, Spider, I love Donovan Mitchell. I love him, man, but he just, I don't know what happens. Like he just checks out or something, and then he don't come back until, like you say, down fourth quarter. So I'm gonna take Toronto because Toronto is fighting. They young team. Brandon Ingram is out, but I'm gonna take Toronto, man. I feel like Cleveland. I felt like this would be their year. After they made that trade, they got rid of your boy. They sent him to the Clippers. He stayed hurt again. What's his name? Gardner.
Yeah,
Man, he's terrible, man. He got to drink some milk, man. Jesus, man. He can't stay healthy for nothing, man. But I'm gonna take Toronto, man. I'm really gonna take Toronto, man. And it's gonna be a good series. 7:30 tonight in the Cleveland 3. What's that? What's the area code there? 3-1, not 216. What is it?
3-3.
We don't know.
3-3, something like that. I don't know. Okay,
216,
okay.
all right.
216. Okay. There we go then.
She always,
Yeah.
she always late.
Yeah, that's your why. Oh, okay. Now we got Miss Amanda and Nick's team today.
That's one of them.
Oh, that's one of the
Yeah,
grandkids.
that ain't
That's knowledge.
That ain't
Knowledge,
Aiden or-
AKA
or
knowledge.
Roman. That's knowledge.
So now we got today at 3:30. We got the Pistons at home. I mean, this is what it is. What they gonna do? This is the back against the wall. Detroit kind of scared me. Cade Cunningham is the monster. Durham's got to get busy. Tobias Harris, X Factor. They benched Duncan Robinson. I love Duncan. He's a great shooter. If he's on, he's on. When he's off, he is off. But I like that he's taking to the basket. Mr. Brown, talk to me, man. This is Nick. This is Nick's boys.
Man,
The Pistons.
The Pistons, they took Orlando Hart the other night,
Man,
man.
wasn't that something?
Oh my God! I
Orlando
couldn't-
just quit
They
playing.
snatched
I
their
couldn't
heart out.
believe that comeback. I couldn't believe it, but
That was crazy.
they in the D tonight, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
It's gonna be a feisty game. So I'm gonna have to roll with the Pistons, man. Even though I can't call his name, Pacheco or Pablo.
Who are you talking about?
Old boy, your boy from Orlando. your Dookie.
Pale. But I can't even say his name. Yeah, I don't know. He's from an island or somewhere, man.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it, but he gonna get his, man.
Oh yeah, no, he's like
If he could
6'9",
get some help,
260.
man, it's gonna be a good game.
Paolo, Paquero,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I can't say his name for nothing, man. I ain't gonna try it, man.
Yeah, Detroit can't do nothing with him though.
No, he's 6'9", 260, man. It's hard to deal with that,
He's
man.
supposed to be playing football.
Yeah.
He could be a tight end, man.
Say tight end or wide receiver.
Yeah,
What about the
because he play bully ball when he go to the hole, man. It's ugly. Miss Amanda?
I'm going with the Pistons. I know the Knicks are heavily favored, but for the whole season the Knicks are heavily favored, but I'm picking the Pistons for everything.
oh
Oh,
everything?
we gotta get
Yeah.
you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I got a lot of friends that are Pistons fans.
It's good for the
Cade
Detroit.
Cunningham balled out. He looks great. I know it's not just a one-person game, though, so hopefully the rest of the team rallies around him because they're going to need it against Orlando. But, yeah, it's in Detroit. The city's going to be on fire tonight. The Tigers are playing there, too, tonight. So,
Well, you know why Detroit is good? Where their GM is a Duke boy. Alas, an assassin. You know, he played at Duke.
that's what makes the whole team good.
Absolutely. He made some good
GM.
moves. No, Trading Lang is a very good GM. Trading Lang is a very good GM. But it's good for the city, the revenue for the city. Now you don't have just the Tigers downtown, you have the Pistons downtown.
Yeah,
And to
it's-
see
Detroit's fun.
the old heads out there like Isaiah Thomas, Rip Hamilton, Ben Wallace still look like he can get busy. Rick Mahorn doing the radio. You can see the energy in the D, man. It's back, which is good. It's good for that city, man. So
They call it Detroit grit.
Huh?
Detroit grit.
Yeah.
Detroit
you see it in
Grit?
the football team, the baseball team, basketball team.
That's Don's second home.
Not
Not
no
anymore.
more.
Not anymore now.
Not no more.
He ain't building.
I'll go to eat every now and then, but that's about it.
Yeah, he ain't working there no more. Money Mike, man, what you got, man?
That's a tough one, you know. I mean, we talk about, you know, you guys asked me earlier about how not, you know, going to some of these teams and these competitive games and not letting the moment get too big.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be the big factor. I mean, you are at home.
Oh, yeah.
You have an opportunity to take that Game 7 at home and be able to extend your season out. I think if Pistons come in ready to go and don't let the moment get too big for them with all the big names, having everybody there,
Right.
Pistons should be able to do it. But don't let that moment get too big for you.
Absolutely. I
know?
agree with
Right.
you on that.
Don't get starstruck
Yep.
by Eminem up in the box.
They're going to do that.
Palms are going to be sweaty.
The more celebrities you get there, the more you know.
Yeah.
This is a big game. Game 7 is
Yeah.
always big. So you're going to take the Pistons.
I'll take the Pistons.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
take the Pistons.
Man, this was tough. You know, Pistons fall back to, you know, first of all, I knew they were not going to go in there and mob Orlando. Orlando's tough, very tough. You know, and coaches, they know each other. They're very, you know, Pistons coach and Orlando coach are good friends. They got a great youth list there. I really believe Detroit can win this today. The only way they're going to win this game, Cabe's going to get his points no matter what. But everybody else has got to step up. Durham has got to stop trying to shoot jumpers. Get the rebound, back to back. Tobias Harris, you're the X factor, my brother. You got to start doing more, being aggressive. Then LeVert coming off the bench, Duncan Robinson. If they play like they played the other night, Don, Miss Amanda, they can win the game.
Well, Orlando's not going to let that game go that way. You
they're
know,
not
they're
gonna
not
let it
going to
go
let
there.
it go like it did the other night. So it's going to be harder.
It's going to be harder, but if everybody shows up and play their position, because Cade going to do what Cade going to do. But Cade sometimes like to get everybody involved and get them going. That's what they need to do in the offseason next year. You got to go get somebody that can create their own shot. Everybody on that team really can't create their own shot. They can put it down, but then they get nervous. But Cade is the only one that can create his own shot. Everybody else is kind of following his lead. So if he shuts down, then they shut down. So I hope this offseason they address that situation there. But I'm going to take Detroit. I'm going to take them. I love what they got going on. And I want Cade to get out of that next round, especially he got hurt earlier this season and he came back. But Orlando's an upcoming team, man. They're an upcoming team. They're something to be scared of. Okay. We're going to shift it to the West for a quick second. OKC, tough team, man. They're playing LeBron and them next week. Start off, LeBron is 41 years old. Everybody up here on this panel know, you know, when you're old, you're old. Father Time has an unbeat record. LeBron said Father Time, he kicking Father Time's butt. So I don't know about that. But Don, in that series, who you gonna take?
OKC all the way.
Ooh, man, that was no
Yeah,
hesitate.
they had their little run, man. They ain't playing Houston and KD. Everybody on OKC can score, man. They'll give you the business on any given night, man. So OKC.
Listen,
Yeah,
man.
I agree. I picked OKC as well. I'd like to see LeBron. I think LeBron's playing really good basketball. He's playing real
Yeah.
smart basketball right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see them do well, but I just think OKC's got their number.
Okay. My God, Mike.
It's gonna be tough, you know. Like you said, 41 years old and he's still doing what he can do. But
Yeah.
how long can he do that for in the playoffs?
Yeah.
You know, you can't take days off now. You know,
No.
in the middle of the season,
No.
you get your rest days. You kind of, you know, if you're having some injuries, you can kind of harbor them a little bit and kind of, you know, get your rest where needed. Comes playoff time, you got to be ready to play every night.
Absolutely.
You know, every time you step on, and he's been doing it, you
Yeah.
know, but I just don't know if he's got it that much. You know what I mean? I'd love to, and I'm not a Laker fan by any means. I'm not, and I don't like, you know, I never liked when he went over there. I wish
Yeah.
he would have stayed
Nobody
in Cleveland.
did. Nobody
You know
did.
what I mean? And I understand why. You know, you have your reasons. So I
Yeah.
kind of throw some shade sometimes at that. You know, and you know, being as big as he is, I feel like sometimes he doesn't bring that dog out in him that he needs to, like every single time. You know, has he brought it out so far in the playoffs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it would be awesome to see him go for one more. You know what I mean? But OKC's tough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It ain't gonna be easy.
No, it ain't gonna be no walk in the
So
park.
I'll pick the Lakers on it just because
Ooh.
I think
Ooh.
LeBron will still be able to push him through, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens. We'll see what happens.
I did not see that. I did not see that, Don. I did
Man,
not
sometimes
see
you
that.
gotta. You gotta switch it up a little
His
bit.
energy has been great too. Like I've seen his last few interviews he's done. He's
Yeah.
smiling.
Yeah.
He's happy. You know, you don't get to see that a lot out of him. So
You better keep smiling then.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
a good. That affects your play. You know, when
It does.
You're,
It
when
does.
you're
You're
happy and
absolutely right.
positive.
Listen. LeBron don't have AR. That hurts me because AR. Well, he's back, but I don't think he's 100%.
Yeah.
And then Luka just. I don't get Luka, man. He lost weight, and it seems like he gets hurt more now. I don't know if he gains the weight, he'll get hurt more. I don't know what to do about Luka, man.
Brittle bones.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, LeBron is doing his big thing. I'm not a big LeBron fan, but I love. He grows me kind of different way. I'm an AI fan, so
Okay.
So but he is playing at a high level right now. He is, and he's giving it. He gave Houston some problems, and Houston kind of started feeling themselves, and they came back, but LeBron shut it down. In this series, OKC is young. Shea is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then them having old boy out right now, that's hurting them. But the next man steps up. He just as great as the person Williams if he was there. So I'm going to take OKC for this series. LeBron and them got their hands full because everybody, like you said, Mr. Brown, everybody on that team can get busy. And they can all create their own shot. So it's going to be a tough series. I would say the Lakers will get one game. One.
You're only giving them one.
I'm only going to give them the one.
Oh my God.
I ain't going to say they will get whitewashed, but they're going to
Stingy.
get one. I mean,
You
if
think
you
it's
go,
gonna be the first one then?
no.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
It's going to be an OKC. When they go back to LA, if they still won in OKC, that's great, but I don't think they're going to still win in OKC. It's a wrap. Now, we're going to go back to the East now. Well, no, we'll finish the West. We got the Spurs. I love Wemby. Wemby. This is going to be a great series, man. Mr. Brown, who are you going to take in that series, man? The Timberwolves, they don't have Ant-Man.
Yeah, he coming back though.
I don't know if I would have brought him back, man.
They said he gonna come back.
Dante,
He ain't gonna be out the
Dante,
whole series, but I'm rolling with San Antonio, man. I think
Wemby.
they got a little too much firepower, man. They Castle, Harper, and Vassell, and Yana, and I think they just got a little too much firepower, man. Especially with Ant coming off that injury, he's not gonna be 100% when he do come back. And they lost the other point guard too, man. So I'm rolling with the Spurs.
Copy that. Miss
Yeah.
Amanda.
I agree. I'm rolling with the Spurs too, just because the Timberwolves are very injury riddled.
Yeah.
With Anthony Edwards, DiVincenzo. How do you say his last
Dante.
name?
I told you his name is hard. Dante.
Yeah, that's his name,
Dante.
yeah.
I just call him by his first name. That
Dante.
last name
So,
it's going to trick you, man.
Those are key players for them, so they're gonna struggle. So I'm going with the Spurs for sure.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with them on the Spurs. If you got injuries like that, it's tough, especially your
Yeah.
star players being injured.
Absolutely.
Even if you do come back, you ain't gonna be up. You aren't gonna be playing at the level you need to be playing at that
Show
time.
yourself.
Right.
Wemby's gonna be hard to stop.
Absolutely. San Antonio is a lot to deal
Yeah.
with. There's no way that Minnesota can. It's just no way.
Yeah.
Ant-Man. They got some other players on the team, but Ant-Man is the team. And Dante was that guy. He came off the bench, and New York. I bet you New York is kicking themselves. They should have kept him because Dante can create his own shot. He's just that energy off the bench, man. So, I love for Minnesota. They got out of the first round, but that's just it for them. It's game over on that. So before we get out of here, we have this segment called Nickel Moment. So the Nickel Moment is, Mike, what was a changing point of your life? Something that happened, from you hanging out, you and your wife kicking it, and then about to be a father now, your whole life. What was a changing moment in your life?
That was a question I was not expecting.
Yeah. That nickel
So
moment.
that's a. Trying to think here. What would be a nickel moment?
Changing
Honestly,
moment.
yeah, we will say the pregnancy with
Okay.
getting pregnant. We didn't really dive too much into personal life, but my wife and I had difficulties getting pregnant. There was a moment we were almost accepting the fact that there was not that it wasn't in the cards for us, that we were not going to be able to have a child on our own, without whether help from the doctors or whatever the case may be. And we accepted that, and we kind of blocked that out for a while, and
Yeah.
she ended up going to a different doctor. We tried some medicine, and to be able to have that experience for her to, she texted me first. Was like, I think I see a line. I said, you're crazy. We ain't there yet, right? I was like, calm down.
Right.
And by the end of that weekend, that was like a Friday, and by that Sunday, I mean, to find out that we were pregnant and we were going to have our first child was a game changer. It was something you know what I mean. It changes your whole perspective, And then
Absolutely.
finding out we're having a little girl, you know what I mean. I'm gonna be a girl dad, and I'm looking forward to being in that delivery room here real soon and meeting her for the first time. And everyone says having a daughter as it changes your whole perspective of life. And I think, it's scary. No matter what age you are, I don't think you're ever fully ready, but
Never. Never.
we are excited, and we have a good supporting family, friends.
Mm-hmm.
Our community's strong, you know what I mean, and there's been nothing but excitement and good energy coming from everybody, and I very thankful for the wife that I have and who she is, because without her, my life wouldn't be as good as it is, you know what I mean. To have the support, you talk about coaching, you got to have a wife that's supportive of it, because it is tough. It takes a lot of time away from the house, and it draws that attention, and for her to be on board with it and willing to navigate that with me, it's I'm very blessed to have that.
Sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Having somebody to understand what you're trying to do, but me being a father, it changed my life. I think it made me a better person. I was already a good person, but it made me look at life different. Having daughters, watching now my daughters, they live in South Carolina, but watching them develop into the young women they are, I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely.
They shaped and molded me as a person. They made me step back at things, and it's a beautiful thing being a father. It is, to a son or a daughter. But the girls, oh my God, sheesh. But Mike, thank you for coming on today, man. You did a terrific job. I wish you the best on the fatherhood situation, because she's gonna take all your money.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you now. But
That's definitely coming.
yes, it is. Me and Mr. Brown can contest to that 100%. But I will stay in contact with you when basketball season starts up again.
I appreciate it.
Come check you guys out, man. And thank you, my brother. I appreciate it, man.
you guys having me. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you so
taking the day,
much. Thank you.
taking the time. So
Mother's
love to
Day,
you guys.
absolutely. Mother's Day is next week, so she gets to celebrate that too.
Yep.
Yes.
So so you guys out there, to all the beautiful mothers out there, you guys have a great Mother's Day, and we'll see you guys on the 17th. If you live right and do right, you're gonna be all right. Peace. Oh man, I need a drink.